All right, so next up, we got Mona. Birthday, August 31st. So her birthday's next month. Not bad. Affiliated with Mondstadt, she has a hydrovision, a mysterious young astrologer who proclaims herself to be astrologist Mona Magistus, and who possesses abilities that match the title erudite, but prideful. Let's get into her story content. Teyvat is a place where people of all sorts go about their business. Merchants move products, knights patrol, and farmers till the land. But if one were to ask Mona, the enigmatic and prideful astrologist, what she busies herself with, she will reply saying that she is serving a debt known as life. She will, however, vigorously deny being poor, giving the following explanation. Beautiful veneer may obscure simple truths. Exquisite foods may mask its nutritional value. One lives simply all the better to expose this world's truths. Albedo should work with Mona on discovering the meaning of life. I actually think they'd work really well together. And I know she visits him every so often with like Klee and stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're already like buddy-buddy. I wonder if she has any dialogue in Albedo. A frugal lifestyle, therefore, is a form of training to access the truth, or so Mora will insist. Teyvat is a place where people of all sorts go about business, and even the enigmatic astrologist must look to hers. That said, it seems like bards might be exception to this rule. AKA, Mona's out here broke as a joke. She's the definition of the starving artist. Character story 1. Recently, Mona's teacher, an old but highly skilled female astrologist, has entrusted a very important task for her. Her teacher has an erstwhile rival friend in Mondstadt, Alice. She wanted Mona to receive a highly confidential box from the person's successor, Klee. If you dare look inside that book, well, you'll see. This was the warning Mona received before departing. To Mona's surprise, this successor was none other than the Spark Knight Klee. Yep, there you go. The box was still extant, but due to Klee's actions and a series of incidents, Mona wittingly unraveled the enigma behind the box. I'm done for. The thing inside. This is the dark history for her youth. She will kill me if I ever go back like this. Mona was thus forced to stay in Mondstadt, beginning a bitterly frugal but bountifully fulfilling existence. Yeah, that whole thing was a great experience, and it was great to get to learn more about Klee's mom too. Mona's astrology utilizes hydromancy, and she once explained the underlying principles thusly. It is people's fate that shines in the night sky, and though its reflection in water is but an illusion, it reveals the truth nonetheless. Scaramouche would like to have a word with you. No one else can quite comprehend this principle, but Mona's abilities convince people to believe it anyways. Albeit sometimes grudgingly, her astrological readings are exceptionally precise, and she will neither lie nor hold anything back when revealing the results of her reading. Your son says he's made it. That's a lie. You've got no chance with him. In fact, he will soon leave you. The cold, harsh truth is laid bare before people's eyes, complete with all of the grisly details that would have rather remained buried. Mona will make no exceptions to this, and as such, she can seem completely lacking in human emotions. But sometimes, on a clear night, she can be seen on high mountain slopes. There, Mona gazes upon the stars in the sky, so close she feels that she could reach out and touch them, with gentle eyes, humming an unknown tune to herself. The life of an astrologer. Imagine you could just tell people the future or whatever, and you're just like, hey, I just gotta tell you like it is. The truth hurts. This girl's out here seeking the truth. Sometimes the truth sometimes hurts. I'm sorry. Character story 3. Having never studied the art of finances, which was probably should have studied finances, the astrologist Mona is always hovering over the poverty line. In order to save on food expenses, she once ate mushrooms for an entire month straight. If not for the relief funds coming from time to time, she would have had trouble eking out a living. Mona does in fact have some money set aside. Even though she must eventually run dry without an income, she will slow the bleeding by scrumping in the food department. Yeah, I think her and Zhongli would get along great. This man created money and he never has it. This girl never has money when she needs it the most. So hand in hand, that's perfect. Or she should find herself a Fatui sugar daddy like Child, and she'll be great. She'll be fine. So where does the rest of the Mora go? Well, if you've ever had to look inside her lab, you know that there's a pile of astrology related apparatus and tools in there that didn't come out of thin air. In fact, all of them come with a hefty price tag. Books from Liue, an astrolabe from Sumeru, nice. The shipping fees alone are impressive. In order to support herself, Mona eventually took up a commercial contract. Her contributions to a column about constellations in the Steambird. So is the Steambird a newspaper? That must be from like a different region. That sounds like something maybe from, wait, the Steambird. That sounds cool. So it's like a column. So it's from like a newspaper. Have become her most stable income source. Now having a monthly income, Mona could have left her life on poverty, but how could an astrologist's pursuit of knowledge end there? Whenever she gets paid, Mona will immediately shell out on more astrology related resources, returning to a state of destitution once more. This process plays out every month month. Today, too, is another day where Mona worries over Mora. Yeah, so the steam bird sounds like it could be something from Fontaine. I don't know why. It just kind of sounds like the steam, like that's water, and so I don't know. That sounds like it could be something good. Mona worries over Mora. That's funny. I like that. We'll sometimes meet up with Klee and Albedo, her primary reason being to get a free well, you go fish blasting. Hey, going fish blasting with Klee. Catch a fish for a man and he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. All you gotta do is teach Mona how to make those bombs and she'll be good. Secondly is to exchange pointers with Albedo, since they are both people who to seek to reveal the principles of the world, and both are accomplished students of famed masters. Aligning themselves with one another and working together is perfectly normal. Mona staunchly defends her teacher's image in front of Albedo. However, she often complains about that old hag. You speak of your illustrious lineage, yet you also refer to your master as a hag and a stubborn dimwit. Which of these descriptions is accurate? Albedo cannot help but ask this question, and when he did, Mona promptly realized that she had never given it such a much thought herself. Stroking her chin, she pondered this paradox deeply for a moment before responding, the techniques passed down to me are exceptional, of course, but my teacher is not my equal. You better be careful, all right? You better hope that doesn't make it back to your teacher. Does she know the market rates for eggs, butter, or wheat? In this regard, I have already far surpassed her. Oh boy, that sounds like a personal problem, Mona. During her apprenticeship, Mona found that the subtle abstractions of her master's teachings could explain the laws that govern the existence of all things. Human hearts were guided by these laws, and if one had great enough power of calculations, all the mysteries of the world could be understood. Mona once believed this to be true, but when she had to strike out on her own and live day by day, she found herself doubting. Not everyone lived wealthy and comfortable lives. Some either had food nor warm clothes, living no differently from beggars, and it was just as an adventurer who, when meeting Mona while she was out looking for fruits and vegetables to fill her stomach, shared half their food with her. Out here, we've got to have each other's back. This was not something inscribed on the so-called principles of the world and many other things she encountered on her journey. The honesty of a thief, a robber's change of heart, the coward's courage, the good deeds of the wicked person. Mona began to have some doubts, but she also felt like she was finally had her feet on solid ground. When she was again alone with her thoughts under the stars, she marveled that her research had been so full of holes. Perhaps she would have to continue researching the world's principles for the rest of her life. You know, life is what you make of it, you know? Everyone experiences life, but no one has the same life. So it's like, there's so many variables and anomalies, like you'll never come to a definitive answer that explains all walks of life. So, all things astrological. Whoa! Oh, we were right. It was the steam bird. The Court of Fontaine's mainline newspaper, the Steam Bird, has many of featured sections that contain all sorts of news and gossip drawn from every corner of the 7 nations. The section Mona contributes to is known as All Things Astrological and is a column specifically targeted at hobbyists and professionals. She says that she had this opportunity at all was pure chance. When the previous contributing author was traveling the world, he heard tell of a strange astrologist, and his hobbyist's curiosity compelled him to seek her out. Their correspondence left him deeply impressed. As it happened, he was also looking to retire, and seeing that Mona was strapped for Mora, reached out to help her by recommending her to the editor-in-chief of the Steam Bird. Wow, she literally lucked out because of this guy. When Mona released her first column, An Introduction to Alchemy, the column, heretofore being easy reading, experienced a massive shift in tone. Most of each issue was dedicated to discussing the movement of celestial bodies and other difficult and obscure topics. Academic quotations, dense footnotes, and even the occasional hand-drawn star maps abound in these writings. The editor-in-chief could not help but feel worried that this approach was too academic. Would it find acceptance with longtime readers? As it turned out, there was no need to fret. The publishing house received a great many letters that read something like this. Wow, this is amazing. I didn't really get it, but it's super interesting. Consider me a fan of astrologist Mona Megistus. After getting approval to continue submitting manuscripts, Mona could finally heave a sigh of relief. Now, how best to celebrate? Ah, yes, perhaps she could use her first paycheck to purchase that latest edition planetarium she'd had her eye on for a while. Or maybe you should go and get some food. Fill up your cabinets, your fridge, whatever you guys use to keep food preserved, and like maybe have more than one meal a month. That would probably be best for you, Mona. My goodness. All right, visions. To Mona, that her vision was sent to her by the gods doesn't mean a great great deal. This is not to say that possessing an external focus of elemental power is not useful. Having power is always a good thing, but when compared to lofty truth, martial prowess is such a pathetically small concept. The gods too are bound by the rules of this world. Mona seeks the final truth of the world, hidden amidst the sea of stars. As such, she does not have any reverence for her vision, which the people of this world consider to be a sign of divine favor and the source of all power. Nevertheless, this item that serves no practical use in her hands is something that she treasures greatly. It was gifted to her by her teacher as a teaching aid. Oh wow, and it was the only evidence of this time together as master and pupil. She preserves these distant memories with great care. This exquisitely made teaching aid thus accompanied her everywhere, like an accessory worn by any other maid, until one day when a vision of her very own would quietly indwell this old teaching aid. So the teaching aid became a realistic vision, kind of taking the place of her master's gift. That's sweet. I'm super interested to meet Mona's master in the same way that I'm interested to meet Albedo's master and Klee's mom, and potentially, you know, get to know more about Lisa, because I feel like there's a lot more to Lisa than meets the eye, and I think these 4 strong, powerful sorceress women are related somehow or connected in some way. So let's get into her voiceovers.
I am astrologist Mona Magistus, meaning the great astrologist Mona. If it is divination you seek from me, then I ask you respect my name by learning it wholly, here and now.
Put some respect on her name.
Divination is about precisely foretelling one's written destiny. Over-embellishing that fate only leads to misconception. Astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of clutter can one see the true world around them. Fate is called as such, for it cannot be changed.
I think this is my favorite idol quote from her.
Nor can it be reversed. It can only but be accepted.
I think that was the first quote that I ever heard from her after pulling for Mona, and I thought that was really awesome. I was like, okay, so clearly she's related to like fate and the stars and all that, and lo and behold, I was right.
With rain this heavy, not only are the stars clouded, so too is my scryglass hazy. Which of the starry skies do these thunderbolts fall from? The pure waters of melted snow are optimal for hydromancy.
Oh, cool.
One need not scry to know today's weather will be good. Your arrival is untimely. The morning star has just waned. Breakfast? No, I've already eaten.
Bullshit. You eating? That's a joke. I love Mona's voice acting, by the way.
Noon is upon us. We should eat. I will have a salad, for simplicity is the way of the astrologer.
Damn. Treat yourself. I don't know what a relinked vision is. All it implied was that her master gave her something that resembled a vision, I think, and then it became an actual, like, she got her own. So I don't know what that implies. I don't know about delusions, but I assume delusions are man-made visions, which are not powered by the gods, and thus are prone to their own errors or whatever, because like Child uses it, so I assume it's like I think it's something like mass produced by the Fatui and the Saritsa. I don't know. That's my assumption based on the little information I know about delusions. A masterless vision but reawakened? Is that like what it's actually? Okay, so I'm going back and reading this real quick. So Mona's talking about her vision. Nonetheless, this item that serves no particular use to her was of what she treasured greatly. It was a gift to her by her teacher as a teaching aid. It was the only evidence of her time as the master. She preserved these distant memories with great care until one day when a vision of her very own would quietly indwell this old teaching aid. I think that was a dead vision. Was reawakened. Dude, is that literally what Kazuha's trying to do? Yeah, because I looked up what indwell means, but indwell means be permanently present in. So until one day when a vision of her very own quietly became permanently present within this old teaching aid. So her teacher gave her a dead vision and she reawakened it. That's literally what just happened with Kazuha and his friend, and like the whole story of the masterless vision that he's trying to figure out if he can reawaken. I can't believe that was actually like foreshadowed with Mona's lore, and now it's like prominent pre-Inazuma. That's fucking crazy. No. And that's what I'm saying. It's not her master's vision. Her master gave that to her. So wherever it came from, I don't know where it came from, but like she gave it to her as a teaching aid, and then it awakened as Mona's own vision. So it was already masterless. So whoever she gave that to, it belonged to someone who was already dead. That's fucking crazy, dude. I did not think that that was gonna be a thing. That's insane. Let's get back to the voiceovers. That's insane, dude.
Nightfall has arrived. I will soon be able to begin my divination. Did I finish writing my astrology column last night?
You're not getting paid if you don't do that.
The work of the astrologer is to show people what fate has in store for them, and that's exactly what I do. There will always be those, however, who are unable to accept what they're told. Why do I write reports rather than using my divination to earn mora?
That's what I'm saying.
I would never use hydromancy for the sake of mora, nor did I learn hydromancy for that purpose.
But it's a byproduct. Just because you didn't learn it because that doesn't mean you can't use it to make a little money.
I don't know. Unless left with no other choice, astrologers do not foretell their own fate. The elders of my art warned against it, for it can turn fate in on itself, which is incredibly dangerous.
That's crazy. You can learn the fates of others, but you're never meant to know the fate of yourself.
As you are not from this world, I am unable to give you a prediction. All I can tell you is that your journey is far from over.
Yeah, according to Mihoyo, that's a 10-year journey, by the way. It's a 10-year roadmap.
When I first received my vision, the elderly woman that gave it to me, she put on this air and said, "May your heart of truth be with you." And yet, this thing does nothing for my hydromancy. All it does is get me wet.
Phrasing. Oh, boy.
That said, a vision doesn't hurt to have as a little accessory. It is, after all, the one useful study tool that miserly old lady ever gave me.
Oh my
in a
God.
rare act of generosity.
Yo, she's talking so much smack about her teacher. I can't wait to see the banter between them two, whenever that might be.
Do you know about constellations?
Yeah, they're fucking expensive.
Astrologers believe that the patterns of the stars map out the destiny of vision bearers. Past, present, and future, everything is written in the stars.
True.
This travel companion of yours.
Oh, Paimon.
Do you know anything of her origins?
I wish.
No matter what, I cannot seem to discern a single shred of information regarding this floating fairy's fate.
I swear to God.
Oh, so you don't know where she comes from either?
Paimon is Paimon's gonna be so endgame. I'm calling that shit right now. Paimon's gonna be literal fucking endgame, dude. I swear to God. Some way, somehow. I feel like Paimon doesn't even know it. I feel like Paimon's just like inserted and she's just a tool, but she doesn't know.
You mean the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius? Her constellation is Leo Minor, which represents strength and responsibility shouldered too young. Though the lioness has been separated from her pride for a long time, she grows from strength to strength, and the day will come when she is ready to return as its glorious leader.
Oh shit, yo, she's gonna become not acting great, she's gonna become the Grandmaster. That's Pog.
Albedo?
I wish she could tell me Albedo's fate. I would fucking love Mona forever. Character Quest 2, please. Tell me about this man.
Albedo? I envy his ability to solely focus on his research without getting bogged down in mundane, worldly affairs. What a wonderful life. If that batty old lady hadn't had one too many screws loose, perhaps that's the life I'd be living by now myself.
I just love how she's just talking smack about her teacher. It's so funny.
Yes, Alice's daughter. She's in the custody of the Knights of Favonius, and Albedo looks after her too. She's blessed to have Trifolium as her constellation, which
Trifolium.
represents good luck. I'm slightly envious.
Aw, good luck. Yeah, the
Although,
four-leaf
if I'd been
clover.
blessed with good luck, I suppose I never would have had the great honor of running into that old woman, would I?
That's interesting. I wonder how Mona found her master, or vice versa, how that interaction happened.
Diluk Ragnavinder. His constellation Noctua represents vigilance in the darkness of night.
Noctua.
A lone guardian keeping watch, longing for the splendor of dawn, yet destined to solitude in the dark days preceding its arrival.
AKA Batman.
Or wait, maybe Noctua's the one tied to wealth.
Or both.
Kaya Albrick.
Albrecht. Wait, Kaya's has a last name? What the hell? Kaya Albrecht. Oh, that's so cool. Wait, what's the Albrecht though? Like, what's that all about? Like, are there a bunch of Albrechts?
Kaya Albrick. He's a Pavo Ocelus, destined for greatness and grandeur, and to hide ugly realities behind a layer of charm and elegance.
Oh boy.
He believes he has made a clean break with his past, but one day fate will catch up with him. When it does, he will have a major decision to make.
Kaya is gonna be endgame, dude. What? Are you serious? Kaya, don't kill us, please. We're sorry. I didn't do anything, all right? I just got here. Oh my God. Destined for greatness and grandeur to hide the ugly realities behind a layer of charm and elegance. See? He's always sus. I never trusted the way he acts and the way he talks to us because it's always, I feel like it's been a facade from day one. He believes he has made a clean break with his past, but that's not the case. And by end game, he has a major decision to make. Oh, Kaya, don't do me dirty, my guy, please. Oh my God, I can't believe she just fucking hyped up endgame like that. I can't. Oh my God, please tell me about Lisa.
A Tempest Fugit. The constellation derives its name from the hourglass and stands for knowledge and time, or rather, the trade-off between them. As each grain of sand falls down, a moment of time, of life even, dies for good. To stop the unrelenting flow of sand, one would have to turn the hourglass on its side. But once the sand comes to rest, it remains motionless forever. Maybe becomes lazy is more accurate than comes to rest in this case.
So, Lisa's hourglass? Is this lady, like, immortal or something? She's like, oh, my time's almost running out. Time to turn the hourglass upside down. Or if I'm lazy and I just want a moment to rest, let me just put it sideways and be a librarian for a while. I don't know what to make of that. The constellation derives its name from the hourglass and stands for knowledge and time, or rather, a trade-off between them. Knowledge at the cost of time, or time at the cost of knowledge. She's a librarian, all right? She's getting all that knowledge right now, but at what cost?
Venti, the bard that sits around doing nothing all day? What's so interesting about him? Sure, I guess I can take a look. That's weird. The scryglass, I can't see a thing. This wind, I can't open my eyes.
What are you doing?
My hat! My clothes! Stop! The wind's going to strip all my clothes off! Make it stop! Make it stop! All right, I'll never do this again.
What the fuck just happened? Yo, Venti? Venti's my boy. Venti knows what's up. How the fuck do I continue after that? Really, Venti?
You want to chat? For fun? Oh, I don't usually have spare time for such activities, especially when I have so many columns left to write. Then again, since it's you, it might be worth it. A change of pace once in a while isn't such a bad thing. Income. From astrology. You can't use things like Mora to determine the value of astrology.
Okay.
You need to understand, hydromancy is the one and only means of discerning people's true destiny in the whole of Tevat. No matter how much Mora or gems you might have, the value of fate is quite simply incalculable. Perhaps not the smartest question you might have had for me.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're not a bad person and you don't use that against people.
You want me to explain how astrology works? I'm not sure you'd understand even if I told you, but
what's that
since
supposed
you
to mean?
asked, the method I use is called hydromancy, the art of inferring fate from the illusory reflection of the stars on the water's surface. The inverted reflection in the water is an image of the heavens from within which the truth of our world can be observed. It is the one and only success story of that old lady's research endeavors.
That's so cool. I wonder if there's like we're like a reflection, like the truth is reflected in the water. Like, I wonder if there's like a mirror. Like, a lot of people say like Honkai could be like a mirror reflection of Genshin and vice versa. And it kind of is like interesting. Like, obviously MiHoYo makes both games, but they're clearly using the same assets and tweaking them slightly. That's why you see some characters in Honkai that look similar to characters in, or rather you see characters in Genshin that look similar to characters in Honkai because Honkai came first. Why the fuck would MiHoYo make brand new, different, drastically changed characters when they already have those assets? Tweak them around a little bit and then throw them into Genshin. I still wonder if Genshin and Honkai are related or connected in more ways than just being a part of like a multiverse theory, you know, two leaves on the same imaginary tree kind of thing. So we'll have to wait and see.
Mona Magistus, the astrologist. We came up with that name together, the old lady and me.
Aw.
She said it had a nice ring to it. But then she started calling me Meg for short.
Meg?
Which is obviously unnecessary because clearly Mona is already suffice for a shorter name. No, you are not allowed to call me that. It's embarrassing.
Meg.
I knew I shouldn't have told you.
I prefer Mona over Meg. I mean, Mona's her actual name. I have nothing against Meg, but like Meg. That's funny.
The golden rule all fortune tellers abide by is never offer advice.
For free.
Only state the results of the divination. Otherwise, you risk your fate becoming tangled up with that of your subjects. But for you, I will make an exception to this rule. Because our fates have been intertwined from the beginning. My hobby, stargazing. In this all too real world in which we live, we all need to look up from the dust once in a while and fix our gaze on the stars in a spirit of wonder. That, plus the whole thing about me being an astrologer. The equipment repair bill is due, and so is the final payment for that celestial globe I ordered. Also, I still need to renew my journal subscriptions, not to mention pay the rent.
Jesus Christ.
Which one to prioritize?
Adulting, am I right?
I'll pay off the celestial globe first. If I leave it any longer, they'll sell out, and then I'll never get my hands on one. Oh, salad. Salad is by far the best food in the world. Cheap to buy, easy to whip up, filling, and it's the most convenient thing there is when you're working on a column or fixing some equipment. I mean, who's got time for a proper dinner anyway?
Yeah, but is it satisfying? I could not eat a salad every single day. Also, a salad, a filling salad? Yeah, that's a cap right there, dude.
You know, all those overpriced...
What's your least favorite food? Food that's too expensive.
You know, all those overpriced fancy foods. Personally, I think it's uncivilized and frankly dangerous to splash out and indulge yourself every time you have a little hunger pang.
Yeah, that's easy to say when you're broke.
This was ordained by fate. Long had I foreseen it. One step closer. Maybe soon I shall finally uncover the truth of this world. My scryglass has long since preordained all that will take place beneath the stars it reflects. In the reflection of the water, I see the ascension of the morning star.
Mona's great. I can't believe we learned as much as we did right there. Kaya? Kaya and Lisa are the characters at the very end. Lisa's actually the last one. Like, I'm so intrigued to learn about these characters now, and they're so at the end, dude. Oh, man. That's all great. Mona's awesome. It was really awesome to just learn a little bit more about other characters too, and she talks about like their constellations and all that stuff. Mona's awesome. She's super entertaining. I love the voice acting. Love the character quest that we had with her. Don't know if she's gonna be relevant anytime soon moving forward, especially with Inazuma coming out soon, but overall, I think she's a great character, and I love that she gave us a little bit of some tidbits on some other characters. Kaya as well as Lisa, I think, are the two that I'm so intrigued to learn more about, especially keeping a close eye on them. And it's kind of crazy that Kaya is a free character, Lisa's a free character, and like they could potentially have some really crazy like end game results and decisions and development as the game goes on. So super excited about that.